Hello, it's Miniwa. Today we'll be looking at God's template for Little Tama. And from our book, we're looking at Joshua 1 from verse 1 to 9. There, that is the account after the death of Moses. And so Moses was gone, a man reverenced, a man whom God used to do so many things. And now it was Joshua stepping into the shoes of Moses. Obviously, you would think he's not worthy, he couldn't fit into that shoe. But then with God, nothing is impossible. And so the admonition came to him to be strong and very courageous, that no man will be able to stand before him all the days of his life. And then there was just one instruction that was given to him, and that is studying the Word of God, meditating upon the Word of God, and living by the precepts of the Word of God. And so God's template for the total man is that we should excel, we should be above only and not beneath. And so it is okay for you to have challenges, for you to have difficulties, but just know that that is not the will of God concerning your life. You have to live above those things. There will be things that could discourage you, make you feel bad, make you feel inferior, and all of those. But then the Word of God said you should be strong and very courageous. As you live your life on a daily basis in this world, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be difficulties. Everything will not come on the platter of God, but no matter what happens, you have to be strong, you have to be very courageous, you have to trust in God, you have to depend upon God. I want to see Joshua should have obviously learned from what happened to Moses. If you want to see the record of Joshua, he so much saved God that he not just only entered the promised land, but with him the children of Israel had a whole lot of successes. And so it doesn't matter who may have faith, it doesn't matter your family background, it doesn't matter how far your parents went, what stopped them and what didn't stop them. If you could only make one partner, and that is partnership with God, and making up your mind to live and work with God, I tell you, nothing shall be impossible unto you. The template of the total man given by God is that we should excel, we should be above only and not beneath. So trust God for your future. Everything along the way is not going to be okay, it's not going to be perfect, but you can lose friends, you can lose material things, but don't ever lose the presence of God. Don't ever lose the presence of God. And if you abide by that, walking, abiding, leaning on God, you will always make it. The Word of God gives you that injunction. So meditate upon the Word of God. Okay? Meditate upon the Word of God. So the Bible says, only be that strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded. He said, turn not from it to the right hand or to the left hand, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. That is it, the Word of God. Let it be your guidance, let it be your companion. Meditate upon it. In the midst of difficulties, in the midst of challenges, go back to the Word of God, study the Word of God. Let the Word of God be a part and parcel of you. And as you read the Word of God, one thing, you may have delays, you may have setback and all that, but don't be discouraged. So only be that strong and very courageous. If there are no difficulties, if there are no tempting times, there will be no need for you to be strong. There will be no need for you to be courageous. You will not need courage. But because difficult times will come, trials will come, problems will come up here and there, that is why you need to be strong. Now, the essence of those problems in our life, basically what did they want to achieve? It is sway us away from God, draw us away from God. That is the essence of whatever problem you may have. And so don't ever put your problem above God. If you want to feel bad, if you want to cry, it is okay. But at the end of it all, surrender all to God, your Maker, your Creator. He knows all about you. See, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, the thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Okay? Say, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then, by observing to do what God has written in the Bible, so for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success. Thou shalt have good success. The Word of God. It is not a man to save himself. It is not a man to help himself. It is not a man to change himself. It is not a man to transform God, to transform his life. Say, by grace are ye saved, and that not of your own hands, lest any man should boast. It is not in you to change the course of your life or whatever. God can do all of that for you if you lean on Him and if you trust in him. And he said, Joshua, he picked up that word, and what stopped Moses did not stop him. And want to know, so you want to see what brought the downfall of Moses, he reacting. A very meek man, they pressed into the borderland, and then he reacted negatively, that cost him that privilege. And so what we should do in terms of trials and difficulties as well is, don't just react, and as much as possible pray about it. If you pray about it first, if you commit it into the hand of God first, you will always come out better. Learn to depend upon God, learn to trust in God. Our life is not a sprint. We have a whole number of years to live. The will of God, the plan of God will always come to pass in our lives. They that honor me, I will honor them. Choose to honor God with your life. Choose to put God first. Choose to lean on God. Choose to hear from God. Choose to allow yourself to be led by God. And God will never mislead you. And so the template of that total man is to have success, to prosper, in no ramification. And I'm telling you that if you stand for God, you will definitely prosper. Have a nice day. Bye.